Hello, Stamper. Welcome to Frenchie's video. I'm France Martin, independent demonstrator with Stamping Up at frenchiestamps.com. Today, it's a great card to share ways to use scrap paper. In the past year, I've been doing quite a bit of patchwork or ways to use those scrap paper. And I got a team member. His name is John. Lately, I call him the king of scrap paper or patchwork. And this is the card that he did. I challenged my team with different paper monthly. And this was last month paper, and C did those too. I just send them a few pieces of paper. They send the card. Everybody that enters send a card get entered to win the card. So that was John's entry. And before the team meeting and I share all the card and we pick a winner, I decide to do a video. And so I did just a little bit different. I'm going to use a layer here, and I'm going to do a layer for the inside of my card. So let's get started. This was really, it should have been 1 inch, but when I send the paper to the team to get more in my package, I cut it in strip of 4 inch by 5.5. Well, 5.5, 5.5, that make 11 inch. So I get like 1 inch at the bottom left. So I get strip of 1 inch on the sheet of 12 by 12. Well, this one here, it was off just a little bit. So it's about like 16 of an inch, 7, 8 of an inch about. So you just want to cut the square. Now to make it easier, I'm not sure how John did is, but this is how I done mine to make it easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and add, I don't want to use, well, I can use the same one. Do a little, just a little bit, and that was quite a bit there, just so my paper won't move, okay? So I just add a piece of glue, and then really, I don't want to use the same. Here I go. It's going to be upside down, but it's going to make life easier for me. I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to put that right straight at the line there and there. And I like to start at 1 1/4. Excuse me. Looking for my, oh, I brought it here. So 1 1/4. So this is 1 inch, and a quarter is going to be right there. And I follow my line. So that's what it's nice about grid paper. I know that I'm straight. And then I'm going to put a line right on my cardstock also. And the reason why I do a line on my cardstock, because it's going to be easy to keep that straight. I'm the one usually I say, don't worry about if it's straight or not, just eyeball it. But to keep the pattern of like the diamond check here, that make it a lot easier, okay? And so I just gonna align it and decide which color I want. And they're gonna touch. You don't have to be too picky right now because they're not glue. Oops. This is moving. I did my, okay, I want some pretty peacock. And I like to use, oh, and this is Season of Elegance, by the way, the paper. I think it's such a pretty paper. And then I'm going to add a green there. Okay, so now we get the 4 paper. And the reason why I want to put it there first, I want to align, it doesn't matter, you can start right at the edge, but because it's almost 1 inch, and this is 4 inch wide, 4 by 5.5, well, it's just off a little bit. If I would have went right at, and then it's diagonal, you know, it's not, it's more than 1 inch. So what would it be diagonal? Diagonal, it's like 1 1/4. So it's just, it's more than 4. How can I say that? Your paper, you would have to go very small square to put 4 diagonal, but I don't want it equally. So this way I can guess estimate about where. And see, that's pretty much good, right? So we're going to get started. And why do I want to add a line there? So it's very important for when you put your second row, if you keep the first one straight, it make life easier. This one here was not the, here we go. I want the gold. So I put my pick tools, and this one here is just a bit on this side, okay? So then I'm gonna, well, I can go ahead and put that right there. I keep my point on the line, my point on the line. Then the next one, and I find it, ooh, easier just tap a little bit of glue instead of putting a lot and then it oozes on the side. And see, keep those point on the line, and that really make a difference. Let me put that more in the center there. Here, voila. And then we're going to bring that right here. So really you don't see your line because you touch all the points, okay? Oops. Oh, this one I didn't need it on that side. That's okay. It's going to go on the paper. That's okay. Okay, so keep that straight with your line there. Et voila. So now we get the first row. Now for the second row, you can put one and say, okay, it's going to be here. And I try not putting another line. It's up to you. I find it easier to put a line. Believe it or not, I'm one that put a line. And I'm going to go just below. So that would be from your line there. It would be, what would that be really? It would be about 1 inch, really. A little bit more than 1 inch. So 1 1/8. And I'm going to put my line right there. Here, let me measure. And that's not less than 1 inch. So 7/8. Really, it's makes sense now that I'm thinking about it. 7/8, it's the width of the size of my square. So between 1 inch from your line to the bottom, that would be about right. Now here, I'm going to mix them. So that one was the last one. Oops. And wait a minute. So green, usually I would start with the reverse here. So I would start with my green here. Oops, green. Okay, this one. Here we go. I want to do my center first and then put the last one in because it's very little. I'm going to put that one and then I'm going to put my blue one because I don't want none to touch the same color. I'm going to put that right here. This one I won't really put one, right? And then my green, gonna go in the center. This one was off a bit. Let me, oops. Here we go. It was not much, but enough to bug me. And really, because this one, the way that I started, I don't really have place to add more, so I won't worry about it. And I'm going to show you the difference. So it depends how you start. So this I almost did equally. So that's the difference there. So let me flip this. So anytime you want to flip this upside down, cut from the back at all times so then you can follow your layer. Oops, here I went off a bit. Et voila. So this one here, I'm going to put it inside. Now I need an eraser. just because I went very equally there. This is a glue eraser because I moved this one a bit, so et voila. And then I get just a little bit of my pen there. So here's the difference. You can see between those two. I started just off here, just a little bit. So see there. And to be honest, I like it way off. So then it's not so matte, or I don't know. This one, it's very, see, it's almost the same. And then I don't have no place. I mean, it would be very a timbit. When I say a timbit, would be very little. See, not worth doing it. So yes, I would start off a bit and go from there. Now, this one here, I'm going to mount that at the top, and I choose to do dimensional. I wanted to raise it up, but John did it directly on the card base. And many times, simple, it's the way to go. That's the glue on it. Simple, it's great. And also when it comes to mailing, less layer, it's more friendly. Now I'm going to put that right here. The Thinking of You, it comes from the stamp set Everyday Greeting. That's an online exclusive, still available. And I love the fonts of that. So voila, see how simple it is. Now the one we did, I'm going to use that inside. And this one, I'm going to put it at the bottom so you can write at the top and such. But this one, I'm going to glue directly down. And I could have started a little bit more. Instead of at 1 1/4, I could have started at 3/4 to bring this down more. So more place to write. But for the one that follow me for a while, I'm not a writer. So this would be perfect. And I love tone on tone. It's just give that extra. And the card base, it's thick, whisper white, basic white. Now I still say whisper white, basic white, but the layer I use the regular white. That is it. So this was my take, and let me bring back John's take right here. Et voila. Let me give the glare. And see, so John started write a full square and finish with a bitty bit. And so then when you put in between, it's easier if you put like the full square and then add the rest at the end. That is it. I hope I inspire you to use that scrap paper that if you save it, I got many. I will attach another maybe a scrap paper at the end here, like a quill pattern, something. I did share a lot, and it's so many out there that just to use your scrap paper, and they make lovely card. Like this one, see? It's perfect. It's called quill card, patchwork, scrap paper. Get many words for it, but really, patchwork, quilt, and then scrap. That would be the 3 categories that you're going to find a lot to use your scrap paper. I hope I inspire you to create. Till next time, happy stamping, and right below you get the direct link to order the product. Bye-bye for now.